There are lots of ways to connect with your students in 2020. Each has its own challenges and advantages. Many of us began the school year asking, how can I do that in a virtual classroom? And now we need to ask, how can I teach students at a distance and in person? Your message has to reach students through a mask, a face shield, or even a computer screen. Our goal in this video is to give you options so that you can teach students concurrently without needing to be 2 places at once or take on 3 times as much work. Here are the terms that we need to be on the same page. Asynchronous instruction means that students are learning independently. Synchronous means that students are learning directly from you. Virtual and in-person are terms that describe the student's location while they're learning, and concurrent instruction means that students in different locations are learning from you at the same time. They might learn asynchronously while they're in your classroom, using a flipped classroom model, or synchronously as you instruct them at a distance through a Zoom meeting. We'll get into some of these novel combinations a little bit later in the video. As an elementary teacher, you may need to teach most of your students in your classroom and reach a few students who are quarantined at home. As a high school special education teacher, you might have different small groups attending in person or virtually on different days. As a middle school teacher, you might have 2 cohorts of students. Cohort A will attend virtually for 2 days, while Cohort B attends in person. Then the cohorts switch so that Cohort A students can benefit from 2 days in person with you, while Cohort B students attend virtually. The 5th day of the week is a virtual teaching day where students will work independently, while you have the chance to collaborate with colleagues. Using a concurrent approach, you can connect with all of your students, even if some of them choose to attend virtually all the time. Concurrent learning for students in your classroom and in your Zoom meeting requires microphones and speakers. To figure out some strategies for how to make this possible, we gathered a group of experts to experiment. Here's what we found.
I am Ruth, and I'm going to be the quiet little student. If you can hear me, let me know. Oh, and I'm talking with just my inside voice. So I will slowly add my volume, which is my normal speaking voice, but this would be my inside voice if I was a student. It's really nice.
Going to be really problematic for any students that are a little bit quiet, especially when we're wearing masks. I think that's going to be a significant challenge.
We experimented with using a central microphone in the classroom to pick up the voices of students. We found that it was very difficult for people participating in the Zoom meeting to hear what students were saying. It was even more difficult if the teacher was wearing a face mask and a face shield.
So, Jean, I absolutely agree with you. I think it's so much easier when you can see the teacher, when you have that face-to-face communication, even with a mask on. The eye contact makes a huge difference. There's a face to go with the voice.
We can hear you too, Josh. Like as you're talking, you're not cutting out anymore. And I feel like I'm engaged in what you're saying and my mind isn't wandering because I'm present.
The experience of learning concurrently has a lot to do with what you can see and hear. For students participating through a Zoom meeting, being able to see the teacher and make eye contact matters a lot more than being able to see a view of the whole classroom.
So to summarize, we've figured out the best way to do it is every kid on Zoom with headphones and an inline mic. Our concerns exist with battery and making sure that kids have plug-in headphones as opposed to Bluetooth headphones. Is that kind of where we're all at?
And I think we need to make sure that when we do the adult headphones of whatever sort, that they can be worn with a mask and with a shield.
While there are lots of ways to make concurrent instruction work, the simplest and most accessible seems to be making sure that all of your students and you as the teacher have headphones with an inline microphone so that you can all participate in a Zoom meeting from in the classroom or from home. With this new model of concurrent instruction, it's important to remember that all of our students should have access. None of our students need to be in a Zoom meeting for the entire day. And you, as the teacher, are the expert on your curriculum and your kids. You can make decisions about what model works best for your classroom and your approach. As you begin to experiment with concurrent instruction for your own classroom, please keep in mind there are some technical considerations to help eliminate echoes and feedback and to make the most of the battery life for students' iPads. Good luck, and thanks for watching.